Good evening and welcome to this January 13, 2025, Happy New Year, of the Lake Bluff Village Board of Trustees. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Cole?
Here.
Trustee Fisher is absent. Trustee Freed?
Here.
Trustee Hatch?
Here.
Trustee Rappin is absent. Trustee Ryder?
Here.
President Sherlow?
Thank you. Thank you. Please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next on our agenda are awards and proclamation. And tonight it is for our fire department. On this Monday, Fire Chief Greg Marsh will introduce 5 new Lake Bluff volunteer firefighters and recognize their service to the community. The newly badged firefighters to be recognized include Darren Johnson, Fabricio Maldonado, Matthew Mulady, Jacob Roth, and Mike Shine. Chief.
Thank you. I'm sure most of you didn't expect to have such a big crowd here, but you're in for a treat, so buckle up. All right, Darren, Matthew, Bobs, Jacob, and Mike, please stand up, will you? These guys exhibited tremendous dedication. They were in training every Tuesday for the last 12 months and every other Saturday morning for the last 12 months. Dedicated to get through this class, and they came through with flying colors. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the dedication of the instructors that also spent every Tuesday night and every other Saturday helping these guys out. Tito Holston would be one of them, Joe McKay, Brian and Brandon Colazzo, Tim and Russell Kluchka, and the cast of the rest of them were often chipped in to help out. It's a village effort over there, and we're awfully proud of these guys, and please give them a big hand, will you? Just a quick picture, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Shove my chair back into.
Go ahead. You get pictures of him shaking the hand of the president?
Guys, thank you for letting us. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right.
The ceremonial filing out? What's up? To have the ceremonial filing out? Yeah.
Sure.
I burned asparagus last week. I'm pretty sure one of those guys was there.
So say we're going to talk about finances.
Had to hurry them up?
We're going to continue our meeting, and we're going to talk about finances next.
Run.
Everybody will run.
You've been warned.
Okay, next on our agenda are the consideration of the minutes of the December 9th, 2024 regular village board meeting. Is there a motion to approve the village board minutes?
So moved.
Seconded.
Are there any changes, any notes to that, to those minutes?
Voice vote.
It is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much. Next on our agenda is the non-agenda items and visitors. The village president and board of trustees allocate 15 minutes during this item for those individuals who would like the opportunity to address the village board of trustees on any matter not listed on the agenda. Each person addressing the village board of trustees is asked to limit their comments to a maximum of 5 minutes. Do we have anybody who would like to address the board? Please state your name and your address. Peter.
Peter White, 400 East Sheridan Place. Last March or April, I advocated for the flock cameras in Lake Bluff. I just wondered, is that a flock camera that we're seeing on Green Bay and 176 now? There's a camera up there.
Green Bay and 176. If it is, it's not the villages. We've been waiting for Flock to come in and install them and finish getting their permits from IDOT.
Yeah.
That's actually the Lake County Passage, probably.
The Lake
Lake
County.
County Passage.
So the Lake County Department of Transportation monitors intersections for travel.
For traffic control.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're coming up on a year and no flock cameras because the company can't get the permit.
I think they've sold too many. I mean, they've been very busy chasing permits, and so
Okay,
we've done everything we can do to expedite the permits. And to the point where we basically said some of these that they're waiting on, we're like, just come and install the others until.
all the intergovernmental agency agreements are in place, signed, sealed, and delivered? Because last time we talked, Drew, you said you need an intergovernmental agreement with Lake Forest and with Great Lakes.
Yes.
Yes,
They're all signed, sealed, and delivered.
yes.
So it's IDOT
And Flock.
and Flock. Okay, great. So do we have,
Maybe.
a-
Maybe great. Still waiting.
well, it's progress. Do we have an anticipated date of completion?
So the permit back from IDOT, that's gone to the vendor who would be putting that in. So,
okay.
so not just Flock, but the
Oh,
actual
okay, the
subcontractor.
installation.
Yeah, so there's the process there, except for one camera that we're still trying to work through on the permitting in that location. Otherwise, between the other cities, the permits are in place with those municipalities. And we're
Great, where's your permit problem?
The permit problem is trying to get that.
Determining jurisdiction. North Chicago thinks it's a Navy issue. Navy thinks it's a North Chicago issue.
Just put it up, who's gonna, really? If they come back?
Yeah.
All right. Enough.
Frustrating. We understand your frustration.
Well, we just want to get it done, right?
Yeah.
Trustee Cole, did you have a comment?
No, I'm just happy that looks like,
Progress.
We're in progress.
Okay,
We're trying to get it across the finish line.
great. And then one other point, I'll be brief. I just want to commend the Public Works group for keeping the bike path between the Lake Forest and Lake Bluff border and essentially the metro station at Great Lakes. Clean, always down to the pavement, done in a timely manner. I cannot say that for Lake Forest. In fact, I called Matt over there, who happens oddly enough to live in Lake Bluff. He told me. I said, how come Lake Forest can't do what Lake Bluff can do? I said, they put salt, they plow it, they put salt down. He said, well, they don't put salt down. I said, well, it looked like salt to me, it acted like salt, and it sure tasted like salt. So I'd say it was salt. So he said he was going to reach out to the Lake Bluff Public Works. So maybe we can give him some tips on how to keep that path clean, because right at the border, and it's odd because it goes all the way to the bridge, the overpass on Oakwood. In front of the high school, that thing is snow covered all the time. So kudos to Lake Bluff and whatever you can do to twist Lake Forest arm. And it's been like that 10 years. I used it today. I use it every other day. And I'm done. If I have to go to the Lake Forest board meeting, I will, and tell them that little old Lake Bluff is showing them up pretty well. All right, thank you,
Peter.
Thank you.
Any more comments from the community? Do we have anybody online willing to make a comment?
If somebody wants to make a comment participating via Zoom, please raise your hand. And you can be recognized at this time, and nobody is doing so.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is item 6. The village president and board of trustees will entertain requests from anyone present on the order of business to be conducted during the village board meeting. So I understand that item 14 with the library, then the consent agenda, then 16 would be next on our agenda. Any objection on the board? And I say we'll move forward to item 14. Item 14 is Item 14 is a resolution approving and authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Lake Bluff and the Lake Bluff Public Library Board of Trustees. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Thank you. As a follow-up to the conversation regarding an intergovernmental agreement, IGA, executed in 2024 regarding PPRT payments to the Lake Bluff Public Library, Village President Charlot, Finance Committee Chair Ryder, and Village Administrator Irvin met with library representatives over the past several months to draft a new IGA that would memorialize the village long-term practice of operational and financial support to the library. Despite no requirements to do so, the village has provided support to the library as it directly benefits the Lake Bluff taxpayers. Attached for consideration is the IGA, recommended for adoption, that contains the following noteworthy terms. Number 1, a 5-year agreement. The initial term of the IGA will be May 1st, 2024 to April 30, 2029, with automatic renewals for successive 1-year terms. Number 2, financial operational support. The village will provide the following: to a one-time lump sum payment. The village will pay the library $17,000 for exterior maintenance and additional utility expenses once the agreement is executed. To be pro rata maintenance support. The village will reimburse the library up to $16,000 with additional CPI multipliers each fiscal year for routine building maintenance required for the library property. 2C, utility support. The village will pay for the utilities incurred for the library property as water, sanitary sewer, stormwater, electric service, natural gas service, recycling and trash waste collections, and snow removal and de-icing of the library parking lot. 2D, audit and accounting services and insurance support coverage. Unless the library can procure services or coverage for less, the village will continue to provide audit and accounting support as well as comprehensive insurance coverage during the term of the IGA. And last, 2E, possible future capital expense support. The library may request financial support from the village for other miscellaneous non-recurring capital needs, but only in the context of a long-term comprehensive plan that includes consideration of all options available to the library to manage its short and long-term operating and capital budgets. And last, number 3, future disposition of a property. The library agrees that it will not sell or otherwise dispose of a museum building during the term of the museum's lease agreement without village approval. After the expiration of a term of a lease, the village will have a right of first refusal of a museum building. And tonight we have Library President Bonnie Shaw, who will present tonight should there be any questions to the library. So thank you, Bonnie, for being here.
Thank you, Regis. And I was here a month ago, said we were in the bottom of the ninth inning on this document. Glad to be back 30 days later, give or take. And just wanted to say thank you to the village team, Susan, Regis, Drew. Also, thank you to Ally, another library trustee who was here tonight. I think this document represents our best collective work and a good step forward to the future between the library and the village. We will vote on it tomorrow night at the library board meeting.
Thank you, Bonnie. And we believe that this document represents, and this agreement represents the best for the library and the people of Lake Bluff for bringing books to the people of Lake Bluff and other things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comment on the board?
Appreciate it.
Any reaction, comments on the board?
No, thanks, Susan.
No. Any public comment towards the library and the village? I thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It is a roll call vote. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Cole?
Aye.
Trustee Freed?
Aye.
Trustee Hatch?
Aye.
And Trustee Ryder?
Aye.
Next on our agenda is, by reordering, is our consent agenda. And tonight for the consent agenda, we have item 11, acceptance of a correspondence. Please note that all correspondence was delivered to the Village Board of Trustees in the informational report on December 6, 13, and 27, 20 and 27, 2024, and on January 3rd, 2025. Item 12, a second reading of an ordinance granting development concept plan approval and preliminary zoning variations and modifications for planned mixed-use development at 120 East Scranton. And last, item 13, a second reading of an ordinance amending the first year of the biennial budget of the Village of Lake Bluff for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2024, and ending April 30, 2025. This said, is there a request to remove any of these items from the consent agenda on the board? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on these items? Seeing none, hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Freed?
Aye.
Trustee Hatch?
Aye.
Trustee Ryder?
Aye.
And Trustee Cole?
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Awesome. Next item on the reordered agenda is item 16, and that would be an ordinance granting approval for final plat of subdivision and variations for a luxury car storage facility in the Village L1 Light Industry Zoning District at 105 Albrecht Drive. And this is the first reading. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. After an informal review by the PCCBA at its April 17, 2024 meeting, Lake Bluff South Lots LLC, on behalf of the property owner Lake Bluff Storage LLC, submitted applications for zoning relief necessary to develop a luxury automotive storage facility on the south portion of 105 Albrecht Drive. The subject property currently contains a live storage, self-storage facility, which, if subdivided, would remain on the northern lot, and the proposed two luxury automotive storage facility buildings would be located on the south lot, mostly over an existing parking area. The project received design review approval from the Architectural Board of Review at its November 12, 2024 meeting. The PCCBA held public hearings on August 21st, 2024 and December 18, 2024, and unanimously recommended approval of a final plat of subdivision with the following variations. Lot 1 side yard setback to reduce the south side yard setback requirement from greater than 50 feet or 15% of the width of a lot or 30 feet, or 10% of the width of a lot to 0 for Lot 1. Lot 1 parking spaces, to reduce the number of parking spaces for Lot 1 from at least 115 parking spaces to 32 parking spaces. Lot 1 and Lot 2 parking spaces, to allow parking spaces to be located in front of a rear building line. Lot 1 parking lot screening, to allow parking in the side yards without screening. Multiple principal structures, to allow the construction of 2 principal buildings on Lot 2 of a property. And last, Lot 2 front yard, to reduce the front yard setback requirements from 75 feet to approximately 61 feet for Lot 2. And that would make it. Is there any comments on this ordinance from the board?
Was this originally presented to us in the summer?
I think that's
Brief
right. I
period.
think there, yes, there was relief granted, oh, wait a minute.
And then it went to the zoning board?
I'm trying to remember if it was referred, there was changes in the plans. Claire, can you help me out on that?
It was a
I don't
COD.
wanna- Yeah. Oh, is you both Clara? Oh, sorry. Like Bluff, Clara. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it came to the PCZBA in August of this last year, and it was going to come to the village board once they got their final plat. And while that was happening, they went to ABR, who suggested a small change to preserve wetlands. And then that resulted in an additional variation that was needed for for a setback. And so they went to the PCZBA again last month and are now requesting the relief. They've submitted the final plat as part of that too.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Cool, thank you, Clara. Any questions to the board? Any public comment to be made? It is a voice vote.
First reading.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And motion carries. Congratulations.
That's first reading, correct?
It's the first reading.
Yeah.
Next on our agenda, and this time following the normal order of agenda, we have item 7, that would be our village finance report. And that would be for warrants report for December 10th to January 13, 2025, and fiscal year 2025 payroll expenditures to date. Is there a motion to approve the warrants report?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. And that would be for expenditure of village funds for payments of invoices in the amount of $682,138.18 for December 10 to December 23rd, 2024, for expenditure of village funds for payments of invoices in the amount of $591,098.89 for December 24, 2024 to January 13, 2025, and last, for expenditure of village funds for payments of payroll in the amount of $329,678 for the month of November, for total expenditures of $1,602,915.07. Do we have comments on the board? I noticed an expense for the IGA with Lake Forest for the
Ambulance service.
and we talked about that today, and that number was actually pretty good.
It was. We're expecting it to be up again for a lot of lift assist in the next bill, but otherwise, the last 2 billings have been below normal frequency of ambulance services, so it's good.
All good. Any more questions to Drew and
Bettina went home sick, so.
Bettina? I hope Bettina is doing better. Any more questions? All right. It is a roll call vote. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Hatch,
Aye.
trustee Ryder,
Aye.
trustee Cole,
Aye.
and trustee Freed.
Aye.
So item 6B is our November 2024 financial report, so we will address that report to you.
Sure. So included in your packets, a summary of the monthly finance report. Given we were off, we only had one meeting in December, you actually see another report for the month of December at your next meeting in 2 weeks. But for November, on par with revenue, slightly down, but overall still trending at last year's rates when it comes to sales tax, as well as the home rule sales tax. And same expenditures are at par, same or less as budgeted, so no concerns there. Nothing extraordinary or noteworthy.
Cool,
Great.
good. Any questions on the board to Drew? Nope.
Nope.
No, it is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Was there a motion to accept? I don't know if there was a motion.
Motion to
made.
accept the report.
Thank you.
Second? Second? Okay. Thank you, sorry about that. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And the motion carries. Thank you very much. Yep. Next would be the village administrator's report.
I have no report.
Thank you. And followed by our village attorney's report.
No report tonight.
Thank you. And I have no report either on item 10. Next would be item 15, an ordinance authorizing the disposal of a village vehicle no longer benefiting municipal operations. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Pursuant to Illinois State Code, the village board is required to declare a property surplus. The chief of police and finance director recommends the sale of a village retired police vehicle listed below as it has reached the end of its useful life with 97,800 miles. And that would be a 2013 Chevrolet Tahoe Police Interceptor VIN 15 characters. Should the village board authorize this disposal consistent with past practice, this vehicle will be sold at auction in the next month. And village staff will be available to respond to any questions from the village board. Any questions to Drew or Matt, our chief of police?
No.
No.
Thank you. And that would be a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, and the motion carries. And next on our agenda is our trustees' report. Next, do we have any report from the trustees tonight?
No.
Nope.
Did we cover 12?
No.
Yes, it's on the consent.
Oh, yes, okay, sorry.
Good. Very good. So,
No.
I'm happy about that. So, I usually am the one who is basically skipping items, so tonight I was actually, okay. Next on our agenda is our executive session. Considering the
Minutes.
consideration of the October 28th, 2024 executive session meeting minutes. I'm doing something.
Yeah, if there's no issues or questions, you can approve them now.
Could I please have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 2028, to the 20th, October 20th, 2024 minutes?
October 28th?
October 28th, 2024.
Executive session.
Closed session.
Long time ago.
Motion to approve?
Seconded.
All right, this is a voice vote.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. Next would be our executive session. And I have to be specific, may I have a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of discussing consideration for volunteers of the public body pursuant to the Illinois Open Meetings Act, and that upon the adjournment of a closed session, this regular meeting will be deemed to automatically be adjourned by the same vote without the conduct of any further business. Motion to concession.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
It is a roll call.
Trustee Ryder,
Aye.
trustee Hatch,
Aye.
trustee Fisher, I'm sorry, trustee Cole.
Aye.
Thank you. And this concludes the open part of a village board meeting. Thank you to anyone in attendance, and have a great evening.
This is actually a lot quicker. It's a year.